Okay, so yep, as Malachi mentioned, I'm going to now be talking about the cyberability quiz that we have. So before the on the Moodle homepage, you'll see that there's a link to a pre-quiz to complete before any training, and also a post-quiz to complete after the training. And so why we've included these quizzes is we want to give you a way to have a look at your knowledge, skills, and confidence in dealing with scams and potentially how vulnerable you are to scams. And that's to check that before you do any training and how that might change after you do our cyberability training program. So both of these quizzes are very short. They should take up to 10 minutes. And some of you may have already had a go at that if you've already created a account. But if you haven't, you're welcome to do that at your own time before you start the training. Or if you do need some extra support in accessing the training and completing the quiz, we can help you in the workshop later today. So just to briefly go over what the quiz includes. So we will firstly ask you some basic information about yourself, such as your age. And that's just for us to get a bit of information about who's accessing the training. Next, we will ask you to do the cyberability quiz. And this is when you can check your online safety and scam risk scores. So we'll ask you some brief rating questions about your knowledge, confidence, and skills on scams, as well as some items. For example, the one shown on the screen, I stop and check it's safe before I click on links. We'll ask you how often you do certain online behaviors. And then lastly, we will give you a practical activity where you'll spot the scam with real examples. So we have a mixture of real and scam email, text messages, or online messaging examples, and that will see how accurately you can spot scams. And the post quiz will have the same questions, but we'll also give you an opportunity to give us some feedback on our training. So that is the cyberability quiz at a very quick glance. And I'll now explain our cyberability plan. So the cyberability plan is our workbook that goes alongside the online training. And we have exercises that relate to each of the 8 online training topics. And why we've created this workbook is to give you an opportunity to help consolidate the information that you've learned online and really let that sink in, but also to start thinking about different ways that you can apply what you've learned online to your everyday life specifically. So after you do complete the cyberability workbook, you will have your own personalized plan on how you can specifically stay safe online. And you can keep this workbook nearby when you're going online as a reminder on of the information that you've learnt, for example, what the different red flags are. But we've also got some really helpful quick reference guides in there. So there are contact details for places to report scams, as well as some extra support and counselling services and their contact details if you do need that extra support. And depending on your own personal style, you're welcome to download the workbook and print that off, or you can work with it digitally. I know some of you may have already received the workbook in the mail as well, but if you haven't, you are welcome to reach out to us via email and let us know that you would like us to mail some out, and we can send those out to you. And there's also just an example of one of the exercises that you may see in the workbook. So here you learn about different risk factors for cyber scams if you do have a brain injury, and you'll be asked to tick if these risk factors relate to you, and also different ways you might apply that tip to your everyday life. So that is the quiz and the workbook at a very brief glance, and I will hand over to Kate now.